make a very easy all-in-one dish today, a sausage casserole. It's got quite a few ingredients, but it's still a very simple dish to make. I'll be using olive oil, tinned tomatoes, butter, breadcrumbs, salt, some butter beans, some milk, onion and garlic, chicken stock, mixed herbs and sausages. And to go with it, and this is where I'm going to start now, we're going to make some mashed potatoes. Very easy, but I'll show you how to do them anyway. Now I've got some potatoes here that I peeled earlier, and I think I've mentioned before, it's really important when you prepare root vegetables that you wash, peel and re-wash them, and that gets rid of any bacteria that can make you poorly. And also, if you're going to handle potatoes that have been peeled, you have to keep them in water to stop them going brown. It's important to dry them, and then they won't slip while you're preparing them. Now, I could use a big knife to chop these on the board, but for this particular job, what I prefer to do is just take a small knife and pick up each potato, just cut the end off, and then just keep cutting at an angle to get like mini roast potatoes. I know people sometimes cut them into cubes to make it easier and quicker, but I just prefer doing it this way. It's very, very quick. It gets the potatoes to an even size and ready to go as quick as possible. Now, what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put them on the stove with a little bit of salt, not too much. It's important only to add as much salt as you need to a dish. If you add too much, it can cause you health problems, so it's always best to use less salt really, and add a little bit more if you need to. Now I'm going to pop them onto the stove, and I'm going to add cold water. And this is really important because there's a general rule for cooking vegetables, and the rule is anything that grows above the ground goes into boiling water, and anything that grows below the ground goes into cold water, with the one exception, and that's new potatoes. And the reason for this is, if you put green vegetables into cold water, you'll lose a lot of the water-soluble vitamins, but you'll also lose the crispness and you'll lose the beautiful colour. So that's really important. With regard to the root vegetables, putting them into cold water, it helps to soften that tough layer that's just under the surface. So that's our potatoes on ready to boil. I'm going to bring those to a boil. Allow them to simmer, not boil, allow them to simmer until they're soft, and then I'm going to mash them. Okay, so that's our potatoes on to boil. So I can start with the rest of the dish now. And to begin with, I'm going to take a large frying pan, and I'm going to put just a little drop of olive oil in the bottom. We always use olive oil for our cooking nowadays. So I'm going to pop that onto the heat, and I'm going to take the sausages and some tongs, and I'm just going to wait for the oil to get hot so that we can seal the sausages in it. It's important that it's hot, but not too hot. We'll know when it's ready because it will give off a faint blue haze. If it starts to smoke, then it means it's too hot and it's dangerous. What you must do is just turn it off, walk away, and leave it to cool down. Okay? If you try and cook with it when it's too hot, it could cause you serious injury. Okay, so I can hear that the fat's warming up now, so I'm going to pop the sausages in. Like so, I'll leave the tongs there. So this is okay. And I'm going to go and get the rest of my ingredients ready. So, we'll start with our friendly onion and the garlic. And what we'll do with these I've just used half an onion, and I've left the root part on to hold it together, and I turn the root part away from me, and then I cut down as close as I can to the back of the onion without cutting through. I've got my fingers in the safe position, and then because I'm right-handed I turn the onion to the left. Obviously if you're left-handed you do it the other way around, and then again we cut to the back without going all the way through, and then just cut down without moving the onion, cut down, and we get this fine dice of onion. Okay, that's enough for that. That I'll save and put in some soup or something. Now the garlic, it's still got its skin on, so I put my knife on the back, press down with the back of my hand, and the skin just comes off like so. And then we just chop the garlic nice and fine, fingers in the safe position. That's it. Okay, so now I need to check the sausages. All we need to do with these really is to seal them off, because they'll be going in the oven and they'll get cooked through in the dish itself. Okay, so the sausages are sealed. So now I'm going to add the garlic and the onion. I'm going to cook those for a couple of minutes. I'm going to allow them to brown. Smells really nice already. Just keep turning the sausages just to make sure they're evenly cooked. And then I'll be ready to add the rest of my ingredients in a couple of minutes. I'm going to add mixed herbs, tomatoes, parsley, some stock, some butter beans, but you can use any beans that you like in this. You can use kidney beans, lima beans, anything you like. So I think that's ready now, so I'm going to start by adding some mixed herbs. Just a sprinkling of the mixed herbs like so. And then I'm going to add the tomatoes. And then I'm going to add the butter beans. Bring that up to a boil on here. And I've got my oven-proof dish that I'm going to use to cook this in the oven. Now I'm going to add a small amount of salt and black pepper mixed together. You can always add some more later. It's important not to over season. Too much salt is really quite bad for you in your diet. So there's our seasoning. We'll check it before we actually serve it. We're going to pop this into a hot oven and allow it about 40 minutes to cook through, with just a couple more things to add to finish it off. We're going to add some white stock, convenient stock. We're going to add some parsley and some breadcrumbs, and the breadcrumbs they should allow it to cook nice and brown and crisp on the top. So really it's the equivalent of a one-pot meal. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of the chicken stock. Okay, so this will thicken up in the oven, so I'm ready to transfer it to my cooking dish now. So I'll bring it across here like so. That's out of the way. So I'm going to gently tip it in. Try not to splash. just press the sausages down so that they're under the surface of the liquid. Okay, that's good. So before we pop it in the oven, we're going to add some breadcrumbs and parsley, just as a last finish before we bake it. I'm going to put some parsley on, and that looks great already. Now, I'll pop it in the oven. So in about half an hour or 40 minutes that'll be ready, and we'll serve it with the mashed potato, which we're going to get ready now. So I'll just check if the potatoes are ready now. So I'll just press them with a knife. Yes, they're well ready. So I'll carefully take them across to the table, and I'm going to strain them through a colander, like so. Put the pan on a pan rack, and I'll just allow those to drain for a second or two more. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to tip them into the pan, and I'm just going to pop them over the heat just for a minute or two, just to get rid of any excess moisture in the potatoes. While we're doing this, we can actually add a little drop of salt and pepper to them. That'll make them taste really nice. Okay, so we'll be ready to mash them now. Put the mashing here. Simple as that. Smell the seasoning coming through. I want to add a tiny drop of milk, just a little drop. Some butter. That'll just give it plenty of flavour. And of course, got to taste it. I did put some salt in right at the start. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So, just mix it round until all the butter is dissolved. And then I've got a warm dish, and I'm just going to serve these in a dish as an accompaniment to the sausage casserole. So I'll use 2 spoons just so that I get it into the dish tidily. Quick tap, little drop more, if it's all going to go into here, that'll be good. Perfect. Just a little white with the cloth. And a piece of parsley. And that's a lovely accompaniment for our sausage casserole. Okay, the sausage casserole is ready now. So we've got a nice dry cloth lifting things out of the oven. And look at that, piping hot, crispy on the top, perfect. So, attention to detail, just with a cloth, carefully wipe the edge. So you can see all of the things in there. There's the sausages, there's the breadcrumbs, the parsley. How about that for a terrific winter time snack? I hope you have a go at that at home, and I hope you enjoy doing it.